Good morning everybody. I am Nikki, I'm from Grace's House and I am a content creator from the European team. I'm coming to you here now. For me it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I think a lot of you that be watching, it's going to be more like 6 o'clock. Sorry it's so early. Apologies if you can hear any background noise. So my workshop is in my garden and there's so many people having work done around here because of lockdown. It's like everyone's just gone mad and there's people, chainsaws and all sorts, so apologies in advance if you've got some background noise. They've stopped now, but you might hear them kicking in a bit. So this morning I am going to have a little play with Voodoo gel stain in the white magic colour. Morning Jackie, how are you? So I've had this piece for a while and I just could not make up my mind what to do with it. I've sanded it back complete, so I gave it a really good clean. Morning Lisa, really good clean, and a really good sand. So over this weekend I've been sanding it back as much as I can, because if you can see the legs right the way down there, let me just tilt you there, you see the legs, they're quite dark, so that's how the rest of it looked. I haven't decided. Morning Loretta, and I've just seen someone else. I've got Diane and no, too many comments, all very quickly popping up there now. So, but it's lovely to see so many of you bright and early. So I loved the piece as soon as I saw it, but it's gorgeous, Jackie, isn't it? Isn't it? And everybody loved this when I got it. And I always pop a picture of the piece as it is when I pick it up. Sometimes people say, morning Jeanette, sometimes people say, yes, I love that, and can you paint it in this colour? Other times I get left to play. And I could see this beautiful patterning on the front of the drawers, even with all the dark original stain. Morning Kimberly, I could see how beautiful it was going to be underneath. And I was really reluctant to actually cover that up and painted it. I was going through all of that. Morning Donna, you're watching from Australia, so you're the other end of the day. Then is it nearly your bedtime? Not quite. So yeah, I was really reluctant to paint it. I went through thinking, morning Vicky, thinking should I use hemp oil? Over the weekend I'd already planned on this being the piece that I was going to do for you, but even at the weekend still hadn't landed on a finish that I was going to work on. Oh, so great, so someone's looking forward to seeing a whitewash. So then I went through which colour paint, so you could drop cloth, fluff, all of those things. Then I thought maybe I was going to use the No Pain gel stain in the pickling white, but I have used that before and I've done a live on the world, the chalk paint world of chalk paint group. So I thought, I haven't used this colour Voodoo stain yet, I'm going to go with this one. I absolutely love the Tobacco Road, and I also thought that because this is a little bit more, hi Sue, this is a little bit more translucent than the No Pain gel stain, so I can build it, I can probably have a bit more control and build it up. So this is literally the only product I'm going to use today. I have brought along the Up in Smoke, which is the grey, also never used this before, but I'm thinking that for now this is probably just going to do the job. So I've completely run out of, Sharon, yay, you've caught alive, morning. Normally I would use, for this, I would use one of the Dixie Belle applicator pads, completely run out, I need to get some more. So instead I'm just going to use one of my old Gator Hide sponges. So that's the end that I normally use, but actually it washes up quite well, so I'm going to use the nice clean side. So I did a little test spot, so I know this is going to look amazing. I always like to do a test just in case. You wish I were here, Sue, or are you talking to someone else? Oh, from Australia, sorry. I was going to say my shed is cold this morning. So I'm just going to squeeze a bit out onto my Gator Hide sponge. And I'm just going to go through this middle drawer. I've got plain old kitchen paper, kitchen roll, to wipe back. So I really did quite a good sand, and I really want to work this into all of the oak. Anyone that's worked with oak, hi Patricia, you'll know that there's lots of kind of lines and you can see where the dark stain sat, and that's just kind of a thing that oak tends to do. but I want this stain to sit in those crevices within the grain. The other reason I've decided to go with the Voodoo gel stain over no paint is because I might want to do some shading, and I might want to use. I'm probably going to be using the Best Dang wax, maybe grey, maybe black, over the top. Although I won't get a chance to do that with you this morning because this needs to dry. I wanted to have ease of application, and obviously I didn't, not knowing if that could be achieved over the oil-based stain. I just decided that this was probably the best way to go this morning. Okay, so I'm just going to see already. It just lightens it up and it gives it that sort of French washed out oak look. And this has got some age to it, this piece, but I think this just makes it look even more authentically aged. So you can see how much it's and if you want to, you could probably spray some water, because this is water based. You could spray some water and probably thin this out. And because I want it to sit in those, can you see here? It's just sitting in it already. Jackie, I know, isn't it good? And you probably can't see as much detail here. I'm going to see if I can just bring you a bit closer and tilt the camera down ever so slightly, just so you can see a bit more detail in the grain. I'm just going to also, I think I'm going to grab my spray bottle just to see if that helps lift a small amount of product back up. And I might first of all just try spraying so just the normal mister bottle. Just going to spray my paper towel. Yeah, do you know what? It's really subtle, but it just pulls a little bit more product back off. But actually, I'm really loving that. Because I'm thinking I might just put some shading in the corner once this is all dry. Those of you that have watched lives with me before, I like to have a rough plan, but I very much let the piece talk to me and see how it evolves as a project. And if I was using the no paint, I would be wearing gloves with this, but because it's a water-based one, I mean, you can still wear gloves, but it's not so much of an issue because this will wash off. And this is applying really nicely with this sponge. It's very, very easy to control. Oh, I really like it. Really liking this. So did everyone have a lovely weekend? I hope so. And where I couldn't get into the corners particularly well with my sander, I didn't want to go in and strip everything, because again, it all kind of adds to that authenticity that maybe this has been done over years and stained and painted and stripped again. Because if you do paint oak and then try and strip it, quite often the paint does stick into all those little parts of the wood grain. I'm just going to try and get, I can't, because the drawer's tucked right in. I'm just going to pull the drawer out a little bit. My very technical tool, which is a paintbrush. There we go. That's better. I'll show you the hardware as well. Now the strange thing is, I think, so this is the drawers, and this is what came off of the cupboard. So the rings seem to match, although they're different shapes. But I don't think these backings are original, because when I took them off, the base plates actually cover up the bottom of the key. So I'm not the keyhole. So I like these, but I'm not entirely sure I want to leave them on. I think I might have to find some other kind of backing plate so that I can use the rings still. but not cover up the keyholes if I can. So, do you know what? I'm always surprised that this early slot actually has so many people come to watch. I really appreciate everyone taking the time. I think it's good. I think we get a lot of people from Australia watch this time slot. Okay, let's just put it back in here as well. Yeah, pretty. Bit more, whoops, pop a bit more of the stain on. So, and you know, that's all I'm putting on each time. It's really not much, and it really goes a long way. You can really spread it out nicely. Do you know, it's funny, so I don't know if anyone that's watching this morning was watching Connie, who's one of the other UK ladies. She did a live towards the end of last week, one of the late slots, and she did a lovely job, but oh, I was gutted because she did a black wash. Not that I wanted to do a wash, but I thought, oh no, it's going to look really samey if I now do a whitewash. Patricia, you sometimes have to catch me. I think you quite often have to catch me on replay, don't you? But yeah, so I was a little bit gutted when Connie did her black wash because I thought, oh, am I going to be too similar? But actually, it's worked out quite well because they're very, very different pieces that we're working on. So, and do you see how quick this process is? Let's just pull that drawer out as well. So I have sanded around the tops as well, so all that's going to get treated too. And I'm just going in circular motions there just to make sure I'm trying to get it into all of those, the grain, the bits in the grain that we talked about. So I think on this one, I'm just dampening the paper towel a little bit so it will just have a bit more control. And it is just very subtle and exactly what I was hoping for. So where the rings were, there was quite a difference in tone. So if I do manage to find something that would be a smaller backing plate here, this is evened out even more. So I might get away with replacing those backing plates. Yay! So I think this is going to look really nice with some shading, but actually the natural tones and, you know, there's parts where I haven't managed to sand back quite so well as other places. I think it's going to give me a real natural looking, I might not have to do too much playing around with shading at all. A little bit in there. And I've had to just build up a repair here. So the catch here is one of those that is just like a bar, and obviously people have rammed that closed and open. So there was some damage here, so that's what that is there. So have any of you guys used any of the Voodoo gel stains before? Is this tempting you to have a go into those creases? And if you have tried it before, what's your favourite colour or what have you used before? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the handles yet. So like I said, these are the handles that have come off the cupboard doors. So they just slot through there. I'm not sure. I might have to lighten them, I think. I don't know what I'm going to do with the legs yet. I don't know whether to do the same with the legs or whether to kind of keep them dark as a bit of a contrast and give it like a grounding, which is a possibility. More product. I keep going to reach for my water bottle when I need the stain. I really love this look. I think it suits this piece perfectly as well. Really, really like it. So you've got a leopard print Bombay chest. Wow. And are you keeping it leopard print, or are you adding to it, or what's the plan? Wow. Where did you find that? Jackie, not as usual. I have no, but as usual, you want to get one now, yeah. And you don't know which colour. Oh, the white. It's great over pine. I mean, I've not used this one, but just white. This look over pine, especially if we all know that pine will yellow over time. Because it does, that's what it does. You know, regardless of what top coat you use, whether it's a wax or a varnish, the wood itself yellows over time. But using a white and tinted product on pine does kind of reduce the chance of that happening. And it gives that real nice beachy vibe. I love it. My legs out the way. There we go. So it's a shiny finish, no sanding. Waiting to finalise the order. That's better. Get into those grooves. I'm not going to do too much around there because I've got to sand those bits back. Let's do that. Draw up the top. So has anyone, I've got a really busy week this week. I've got a workshop full of commissions. You've just used Tobacco Road, Patricia, on a dining table. I love Tobacco Road's lovely. It's a really muted, lovely muted colour, isn't it? I mean, to be honest, I love all of the stains. I've not used, is it ebony, I think, the no pain, the black, no pain, or colonial black, I can't remember. The black one. I've not used that one yet. But the actual products and how they work, I do love. Yeah, Tobacco Road. Yeah, lovely muted brown. Goes nice with greens, the Tobacco Road, I find. Okay, let's do some wiping back. So you can see the difference. So that's before I've wiped back, and this is the wiped back. And of course it will dry. As it dries out, it will become less obvious as well. Sure the edges have got the edges as well of the drawers. And the top edge. So, what are we thinking so far? I'm loving it. I'm loving that look. I think it suits this piece completely. And I've left some of the dark, I don't know if you can see the top piece. Let me just lift the camera up a little bit. It's got like a stand at the back of the unit. You love it. I've got Chantal, you love it. That's great. You upcycle items, all sorts, not just furniture. Jackie's loving it. Jackie, it is perfect. So you see the stand at the back. So there's quite a lot of dark pieces in there, but I think once this stain's gone over it and it's been pulled back, I think it's just going to add to all that sort of aged depth. See, I've missed a bit under here, but I kind of don't mind that too much. I might tinker with that later. It's always amazing how quickly the time passes when you're doing these lives as well. Because I think, oh, it feels like I've only been on 10 minutes, but it's double that. If you've got any questions about anything I'm doing or any other questions, feel free to ask away. I'm actually managing to see the comments better today. Last week, I really struggled to see the comments. And you can see if you've gone over it and you need to play with it a little bit more. Or you've missed a bit. Missed a bit in that corner for sure. This is going to be all under my nails when I'm done. Yes, Patricia, it's definitely got that lime wash effect. Very much so. It always makes me think French, this sort of look. Melinda, will I be using a sealer afterwards? Absolutely. I will probably just use the flat clear coat actually. I do like the flat personally. And I don't want any sheen to this really. I want it to look like it's been out in the sun and baked and sort of dry, I suppose. So there's a bit in that corner. So yeah, I will probably use the flat clear coat, I think. Like I said, I'm just going to leave that piece because I've got some repairs to finish off. I've missed a bit here. You can see. And in that corner. There we go. Melinda, you love it. Oh, thank you. I love it. Oh, I wish I could keep everything. So let's just I'm going to lift the camera up a little bit and finish the top. We'll work on the top with you. Let me just get the camera, move that and not knock anything over if I can try. Do I have to stop myself buying pieces of furniture? You see, I got a really large she shed. Well, this is quite exciting actually. So I've got a small shed and the garage has been my storage. When the first lockdown came, my husband also has a large workshop-sized building because he does personal training, so that's his gym. But because people weren't allowed to come to the house, and obviously contact, his gym became my temporary storage. But now we're back in lockdown, he's having to train people outdoors again. So, hi Erin, oh you're late, never mind. So yeah, he's training people outdoors, which he's not enjoying because it's cold now. And but we've decided to change the garage into his gym, which means I get his gym is now my permanent storage solution. So I basically have another she shed that's the same size as my workshop for all of my pieces to go in, which is amazing. Thanks, Hubs. We have had to shift everything out of the garage, mind. Hi, Robin. Oh, I just love this. So I'm going to do this in sections just because I don't want it to soak in too much. Awesome. I know it is awesome. I mean, because we'd even been talking about having to get another shed for me because I'm just so busy at the moment, which is great. But yeah, so this means we don't have to have another building. Oh, Patricia, you saw the paint dance video. That was so funny. Robin, I'm in the UK, and I'm in a little place. Well, I'm in a little village. We're close to Bedford, which is about 40 minutes north of London on the train. I'm just going to get some more rag ready for the next bit. What am I using I'm just using the Gator Hide, blue Gator Hide sponge to apply it with. I would actually use the applicator, the rectangle sponges, but I've completely run out. So I thought, what can I use instead? And actually this is brilliant. And because this is water-based, it will wash out as well. And then when I wipe over, I'm just using some kitchen tissue. You're in Manchester. Ah. Oh, you were in Manchester. Sabine from Germany. Hi there. Thanks for checking in. So yeah, I'm just wetting the rag so it just pulls off a little bit more product than perhaps a dry rag. Because you can always build up colour. It's more difficult to take it away once it's dried. But if it dries and I find it's too light, then I can add more. Like I just can see it's kind of pulled back a little too much there, so I'm just wiping another bit over. But that could also be down to the tones in the wood. Now I have seen people apply, sorry if I've missed any, Inverness. Oh, in Florida. I didn't know there was an Inverness in Florida. Oh, I'm desperate to get our Gracie over to Disney. I know that's not, what Florida is only about, but in the world of a 7-year-old it is. What was I just about to say? Yes, I have seen some people squirt the Voodoo gel stain right onto a piece. I have tried that, and personally I felt like I could still see where it had gone first. So it's just not something I like to do, which is why I like to have an applicator of some kind. I'm hoping I'm not too much in the way of everything I have there, aren't I? And my bottle still feels full. I mean, it doesn't feel like I've used hardly anything out of it. I might use a small brush just to get into those bits, because I don't know if it's going to, my thumbnail is going to be enough. No, I can't get that in. So I will use a little brush just to get into that back piece. You're, Chantel, back in England now, yeah. Right, I'm just going to get a clean bit of rag, shot towel. Wet that down and just pull some of that product back off again. Oh, it's really pretty. And it isn't 100% even, but it, you know, if a piece of wood is left out in the sun to bake, it kind of isn't. So, Robin, how old is this piece? Do you know what? I'm really not sure. It's kind of, the construction is of an age where I would say it's got to be at least, I don't know, like maybe, it's at least 40s, 1940s, I think. But there's parts of it that are in such good condition. I don't know if it's newer than that. It's a really tricky one. There is no, there's no maker's marks or stickers or labels or stamps or anything on the back. So I don't know, in all honesty. It's probably pre that. I don't know, maybe it's in like 1910s. Just because of the style, it's tricky. It definitely feels like English though. Who knows? But I like it. Small world. Oh, another one. Leora, you're in Florida as well. Lovely. I used to have some friends when I was younger. We had family friends that lived half the year in the UK and half the year down in the Florida Keys. I think it was one of the smaller ones, though. It wasn't one of the obvious ones like Key West, or I think it was halfway between Key West and Marathon. Oh, it was so pretty. Let's just get that back stand done. Oh, Robin, good. You can give me a little indicator. 1800s to early, yeah, 1900s. Yeah, so kind of 1910. Yeah. I'm going to be in the way. Trying desperately not to get in the way of the camera doing this. Yeah, thinking about it, Robin, I think you're right. I think it is probably earlier than I originally said. What I also don't like to do though, morning Juliana. What I also don't like to do is like, you know, oh, it's an antique. It's definitely an antique. And then it's not. It's reproduction, or I'm always a little bit nervous to claim age. But you're right, there can be indicators of what the true age of a piece is. I'd definitely say it's a quality, it's a higher quality piece because of the way it's been constructed, for sure. And you know, I said to you at the beginning, didn't I? I had the grey Voodoo, I can't say it, Voodoo gel stain. I got that out as well, just in case. I don't think I need that. I might play with some wax, but I'm actually really happy with just the white, because the colours of the oak are pulling through and the older stain. So I think I'm pleased with it. Okay guys, the sides is just more of the same. So this is where we're at. I'm gonna pull the camera back a bit now so you can see it all again. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, I love it. Oh, I really like it. Cool. It's always nice when things go how they're supposed to go. Especially when you're doing it on camera. Robin, I love it too. Love, love, love. And what do you think, what would you do with the, I'm going to show you the handles again. What do you think to go with the handles? Do you think go lighter? Do you think go, oh, black's too harsh, isn't it? Oh, I just don't know. I'm going to have to do a bit of research on what hardware what colour hardware looks nice against this sort of lined oak finish. So just to recap, all of the products that I've used today. Yeah, that is a bit deco-y. Yeah, you're right. Oh dear, there's too many possibilities. So we have done this look all with the Voodoo gel stain. Chantal from 1920. They're usually a tag tucked into the back of the pieces, left hand side. Oh, okay. There's definitely nothing on the back of this one. Lighter hardware. Yeah, Sharon, I think lighter. I'm going to have a little look. So the White Magic Voodoo gel stain. I've used the spray bottle just to dampen off my rags, and I've today used the Gator Hide sponge, but you could equally use the applicator pads that come in a packet. White gold over grey hardware. Oh, I like the sound of that. That could be really cute. Crystal knobs on the top and circle rings on the bottom. Well, yeah, those are the bits that go on the cabinet on the bottom. And those, I'm really wanting to keep them, but maybe I'm going to have to change the back piece because I don't want to cover the keyholes up. But I do like that grey with kind of a white gold just to hit the highlights. That sounds really nice. I like that suggestion. Thanks ever so much for joining me. So we're kind of done. I've got to decide what I'm going to do on the legs, but I do actually quite like them dark in contrast. So I might just freshen them up with some hemp oil, perhaps. That might be an idea. I hope this has given you some confidence to maybe try this if you haven't tried before. If you haven't already liked my page, my Gracie's House link is in the comments at the top of this video. And check out your local retailers, or if you want to buy online. Do you like the dark legs, Jackie? Cool. If you want to buy online, I've got a link in the description as well. If you are watching me replay, oh Donna, you're late to the party. Never mind, no worries. I've got someone else agreeing. Yeah, they are dovetail. Yeah. Yeah. So please buy some product and create away. Love it. Thanks guys. Thank you. Bye.